Hello guys, this is the second time I'm recording this audio because the audio I recorded before was quite, had a lot of pauses and weird things about it, so I'm recording it again. Anyway, how are y'all doing? So in this video I am going to be showing you obviously the time lapse for this piece and another piece that I'm going to show later on. So obviously this is very late, but this is a Valentine's Day time lapse paint I can speak. Piece. What is English? Words? What are those? Anyway, time lapse for the Valentine's Day piece. That's what I meant to say. So at this point in time when I made this, I was going through a like a mini workshop that my friend from college has been making, well, not making us do, but just kind of doing for us. By us, I mean like a bunch of me plus a bunch of like college friends that I've met throughout these years, either that are going to college or just I've already graduated. And this is not an available workshop anywhere. This is literally just one he just offered to do in his free time. So just it's a free one that he just wanted to do to help us. And one thing that came of it, at least, well, just one thing, was just like it helped me improve on drawing full bodies, because I used to dread it. I would find any excuse not to do it and just be like, ugh, because I would just often find that the proportions are all wrong, and it just would kind of suck. But now I feel more comfortable with the exercises that he had us do. I feel more comfortable doing them. It's just, yeah, I want to learn more on how to do them, because it's become more fun. Since I'm more confident in doing them, it's become more fun. So this piece was one way to just kind of train myself to just kind of do full bodies. It was an excuse to exercise my drawing muscles. This was obviously in like early February. February. Why is that hard to say sometimes? Anyway, it was in early February, and yeah. And we did, like, I think it was a few weeks before that we just kind of did more exercises and more, studies and stuff. But, yeah. Like, we did, like, a realism thing, drawing something in 3 different styles, and just all that jazz. So yeah, the characters that are currently on screen, at least on the screen left, is me, my self-insert character. Yeah, in the middle is Kira, and on the right is Talia. The characters that I'm drawing, and just my characters in general, have just changed a lot, either a lot or a little, depending on what I've changed about them throughout the years. From appearance to just how they are as characters in general, to just interests and personality traits and stuff. And so far I'm really happy with how it's going. I like my characters. They're all great, and I will continue to try to evolve them in ways that I see fit and that I want to try to evolve them. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. The character that I'm drawing in the middle, right there, this old dude, is Logan. You may have seen him in like other drawings and other like pieces and speed paints that I've done, like the Halloween ones, for example, and just, yeah. Obviously, I'm just sketching him out, so you won't see his hair color so far, but basically, yeah, his hair is no longer black. His hair is now like a dark brown with a tinge of black to it. And there's a blonde streak on his bangs. I don't know. Not that I didn't like his black hair, it's just I felt like he needed a fresh change. I don't know. I just kind of felt like, I feel like I could just refurbish him. And so I did. And here I was just kind of testing out if I should draw like a jacket. It looks pretty cool though, not gonna lie. Not to toot my own horn, but yeah. I ended up not going with it because, I don't know, maybe because I didn't want to have him be way too fancy schmancy, so yeah, like a too fancy schmancy Day thing. It's not like he's going to an awards show or anything. Not that you can't find any excuse to dress very fancily, but you get the idea. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, yay. It was kind of tricky because I'm not too used to drawing suits, so it was another new challenge for me. I've drawn suits a couple times before, but I'm not incredibly experienced in it. I'm not incredibly experienced in drawing them, so just obviously need a whole lot of references. Well, I mean, I only used one reference, but what I mean is I would need to reference a lot. From just about any image, really, that has a suit. Whatever reference I find good. And just, yeah. Oh, also I forgot to mention, these two characters, the girl on the right, the screen right, and the guy I'm drawing at the moment, are siblings. They are brother and sister. They are technically considered Irish twins, because one is born earlier in the year. He's born in January, and she's born in November, I think. So that makes him a Capricorn and her a Sagittarius. And yeah, their dynamic has changed ever since I first kind of created them. From the sister being very enthusiastic and being just finding her brother is absolutely awesome, to just being very average and very more toned down, I guess. She still loves her brother, obviously, but they would pick on each other like real siblings would. They would bicker, like just any other siblings would from time to time, but they still care about each other. What's going on the screen is I wanted to draw a little extra, a little chibi extra, and I am struggling so much with the poses. I am so not used to drawing chibis because simplifying proportions and stuff is just kind of still something I kind of struggle with. So I'll just kind of have to learn how to do that a little more easily. And then yeah, what I have there on the right side of the screen that's very dimmed down is that I drew in more realistic proportions and just used that as reference to draw the chibi version. But I decided to just kind of scrap that for the moment and just focus on the drawing at hand. Because I felt that was obviously more important. I'll finish it eventually. Maybe. Yeah, I wanna do it. I have a specific image in mind. So yeah. Hey, Flinny boy. So this character that I'm currently drawing on screen is a character named Flynn, who Sophie has had for the longest time. This is a character that is just very, just kind of goofy. Take Ian from Siren's Lament and just kind of mix him with a little bit of, I don't know, just a little bit more of a jester type of personality where he's just kind of outwardly goofy and silly and somewhat hyper, maybe? I have no idea. It is Sophie's character, so it's up to her in terms of how she wants the character to be, so. But so far I just know that he's quite just the class clown, if you want. Except these characters are not, these characters are all over 18, so they're not in school anymore, at least for the most part. I mean, the closest they could be to students, obviously, would just be either college or university students, so, yeah. Yeah, this is a character I've drawn before, as you see in the screen upper left image right there. It's a character I've drawn on more than one occasion, but haven't drawn in a long time, so I was amped up to just kind of draw him in my more updated art style, so I was excited and very curious to see how the result would be. And I'm very pleased with it, because look at this doof. He'd be silly, but also just kind of ladies' man-ish, but just kind of jokingly like that. He'd be ladies' man as a joke. Come to think of it, his sexuality, I think Sophie is trying to think on what it is, but so far it's a placeholder would be just heterosexual, but she's thinking about it. I could be wrong, but I feel like I remember her saying that. Yeah, I don't know. It's it's heterosexual for now, but it could change, so who knows. You know what? I can't even remember if I used Clip or Photoshop to make that Christmas drawing. I can't remember. But I at least know that I didn't use like the grayscale method, or I didn't like do a lot of things that I do now at that point in time. Or at least I would do things differently now compared to then. So that's, yeah, add in your... Not to mention this dude is also kind of loosely based off of Viscount Druitt from Black Butler, where he's kind of like ladies' man-ish, but not in a creepy way, and also not overly dramatic, but would still be dramatic about some certain things because he's goofy. Alrighty, cool. I'm at the grayscale method part. This is a method that I kind of adopted from Instant Miso, because I fucking love how it makes things look so smooth. And it just helps you with deciding all the tones of everything. At the very beginning when I tried it, I used to do it for like everything, even clothes and stuff, but now I just use it for skin and hair. So, yeah. Everything else I just kind of improvise. I just love her art, man. Just look at it. Look at how beautiful. I admit though, I would be just for the past like couple years or so, I would just try to lean way too much into her art style to the point where I would limit myself from what I could draw whatever, or how I could draw whatever. It's cool to just lean towards one art style, but I feel like it's limiting to only restrict yourself to one, despite how much I love her art style. I love it to bits. Are you kidding me? But I realized when doing the workshop, when exploring other art styles and drawing things in other, like, people or artists' art styles, that I felt I was restricting myself for a long time. It felt a little more freeing to just kind of branch out and take things from other art styles rather than take things only from one. Well, I mean, I wouldn't take everything from her art style, but just a lot of it. So now it feels much more liberating, and it had nothing to do with her or anything. It was just purely me pressuring myself to make my art like way too similar. Ish. Well, I mean, it's not the exact same, but I would just kind of pressure myself too much to make it look like hers as much as I could. And while I love drawing in a way that's similar to hers, I don't want to, one, be a copycat, and two, I would, I would want to branch out and just develop my style on my own, but still have hers as an inspiration and influence. So, at least one of the influences of my art. So, yeah. And I know I would just kind of mention her a lot, like within my posts and stuff, and just have things inspired by her stuff. And I'm sorry if that's annoying and repetitive, but sometimes I can't help it. I just really love her just really pretty art style. Anyway, yeah, when you look at that, the Valentine's Day one is over, and now on to the next one. Now this one was one of the assignments that was for the workshop that I mentioned earlier that my college friend has been doing. In hindsight, we haven't worked on it in a while, but I hope that we get back into it soon. And just because we don't doesn't mean that we can't explore things and just challenge ourselves all the same. So now this assignment was basically to create a character, to create the design, prop design, and an environment design. This is a character that I've drawn in my sketchbook before, at least probably literally just once. I'll just put up the image here. Don't mind the very dated art style. This was back in 2021. I hadn't really worked on him since then, but now I have, and I'm really happy that I have. Because now since I have a little more clarity in terms of how I would write him in stories and how he is as a character in general. So yeah, there's more of a visual, I guess you could say. So this character is kind of like a street punk type of character. He's kind of he wears streetwear and techwear, which was also new for me to explore because I never really drew that style of clothing before. So yeah, it was another challenge for me. So I wanted him to wear like baggy pants and just like a big ol' oversized, well-ish oversized hoodie, and just, yeah, really cool like sneakers and stuff. And yeah. And of course, practicing full bodies once again. So just, yeah, another excuse to practice that. I also wanted to draw a little profile view of his like head and face, just to give an up close view of how his face kind of generally is, and also without the mask, because I did draw him with a mask in this piece. So in this assignment thing. Now with this, we were also assigned to choose 2 art styles to emulate. And the 2 art styles I went with are Sue Morishita, who made a shortcake cake, a sign of affection, and also like a butterfly, for example, to name a few. I just mainly know sign of affection because I'm gonna be a bit biased. Yeah, I am currently watching the show. It is so sweet. My blood turns to sugar. I love it so much. I haven't read or heard of the other 2 manga that I mentioned, Shortcake Cake and Like a Butterfly, outside of when I saw the manga in my local bookstore. That's the only time that I've really seen them so far. That, and also just images on Pinterest when I looked up the artist's name and just, yeah, her art style. And the other artist I chose to emulate was Kaoru Mori, who made 3 manga that I can name on the top of my head. For example, Emma, A Bride's Story, and Shirley. Out of all the 3 of them that I know of anyway, Emma has an anime adaptation, which is really cool. It was from quite a few years ago. Yeah, so that's really cool. I don't know if the 2 others have any adaptations, but Emma at least has one. And yeah, I found out about Kaoru Mori, bleh, from a book that I found at my local bookstore. It's a book called Scribbles, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a bunch of scribbles of like either some of her characters or just random characters, random people. And yeah, I just found that really cool when I found it in the bookstore, and I was just like, yes, I want more books like this, like just random sketches, random inspiration, and also just books like guidebooks and stuff like that, like official illustration books and art guides, and just, yeah, I want more of those. Like, I want to get like the Sasaki and Miyano art guide, for example. That'd be really nice to get. It would be all in Japanese. There's no English version as of yet, but I don't really care. That'd be cool to get. The only thing about that is that I just wouldn't understand what's written for the most part, but that's fine. I literally could care less. I would just want it for the art. Anyway, back to what I was originally talking about. I kind of admit I would forget to implement Kaoru Mori's style into my studies because I don't know. I'd just naturally forget. I probably said that already earlier, maybe, but either way. Right here I am using the little like reference right there to just kind of visualize a pose for him. Not completely referencing it because it's in a different angle, but just kind of getting a feel for it. And he's kind of like inspired by this character anyway, the character in the reference, who is Sha from Mr. Love Queen's Choice, an otome game that I have and that, yeah, I enjoy. I feel like my character Aaron would just kind of give somewhat Sha vibes, just in general. This kind of street punk, skater boy type of vibe. Except this one would just be more of an artist, I guess, than Sha is. Not that, well, I'm not sure how much of an artist that Sha is in general, but anyway. I know that he at least spray paints, and he's also a musician. He plays guitar in a band. I don't remember otherwise what he does in terms of art, I guess, or artistic expression, or just creativity. But anyway, back to Aaron. I wanted to show off a little bit of goofiness and also just him just taking off the mask that he has on his face, just like in the first full body thing that's on the screen left. So, I don't know, just wanted to make something like that to just show off his goofiness, and just, yeah, I probably already said that in a way, but just whatever. Another fact about this character is that he is Korean, and he has a little tattoo on his wrist that is Korean for passion, as you see I have written down. I even wrote down the pronunciation. I hope I wrote it down right. And yeah, I initially was just gonna put it just in black ink or whatever, but then I thought, 3D effect, that'd be cool. So that's what I ended up going with. Maybe in the future I'll just change how it's written, like, for example, like, write it with like a graffiti brush, like a graffiti, like, spray paint kind of brush, because I have those. That's how I made the little crown emblem on his hoodie on the screen left. But yeah, what else do I say? I kind of came up with the colors and stuff for his outfit just on the fly. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty proud of it. Like the contrasting like colors of his pants and stuff, that it's just kind of like opposite colors. I don't know how to word it, but just, yeah. And yeah, I feel like I kind of visualized like the shoes that he's wearing. I kind of had Day from Eternal Nocturnal in my head, and the shoes that he wears. I mean, the setting of the webtoon is just very urban, so yeah, very urban city type of aesthetic and setting, so I felt like it made sense. I'm kind of realizing that I forgot to just give a basic rundown of this character, but you probably already know. This dude's an artist, where he just is a little bit of a jack of all trades in some way, where he spray paints, he probably sculpts, he paints like traditional painting, he draws, and just stuff like that. I don't want to make him good at absolutely everything, because I don't want him to be a Mary Sue or a Jerry Stu, male version of Mary Sue. But yeah, I haven't worked on it in a bit, but I also have like a little like concept thing for like practice making an environment and stuff. This is it so far, but I will continue on it eventually. I just kind of stopped because, well, paused because I just would be kind of stuck, but I'll finish it. I'll continue it and finish it eventually. Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, feel free to leave a comment and stuff, and just whatever you want to do, all that jazz, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!